All right, I think this is going to be one of my final kind of updates on or guide style contents on this game for a while. This took me a very long time to do. It took me, when I say a very long time, I mean for the last few days, I've been trying to get DokiDoki Hell on auto farm, and finally today on the double experience event, or not experience, whatever, double income event, I finally got it to a good spot. And honestly, it was so much tweaking, but we're not going to worry about it too much. We're just going to jump into it. I'm going to show you the fight. I'm going to show you my units, and I will kind of point out things that are extra important. So yes, this is on Hell 3. This isn't, you know, we're not Hell 4, we're not Inferno, but I mean, I'm telling you, this is a pretty tough stage. I know they get tougher, but we're only using free-to-play units here. So our team is Ashu, Gray, Chiaki the Echo, Velarin, and Obol. Now, they all serve a very important role, and they're all doing multiple things here. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown, Ashu is a secondary, he's a main damage dealer, but Gray is the main damage dealer, right? So Ashu does a lot of damage, but also what's important is he has the ability to silence, okay? His third ability here is silences, which does count as a control effect to turn off their shields. So very, very good for ensuring you can get your damage in. And also, he's just doing pretty good hits in general. We got a pretty simple setup for him, right? We're using Onslaught and Swift Rush. I'll go into the builds more after the fight. Gray here is our primary damage dealer. He also is a little bit of a buffer, right, with the crit rate, but really he's mostly here because he's the best green AoE damage dealer that we have. So he's really fulfilling one primary role here. I'm having him use basically the exact same gear that I would normally have Dieting use. But we're using it for him. Luckily, they have a pretty big crossover in skills. Chiaki the Echo, this is basically just to get our attack up and to give us more possible turns, which is what she does. But this increases our damage a lot. We have a really hard time hitting the amount of damage we need to actually kill enemies without having something that's giving us an attack up. Now, Valerian can also do that, but I just find Chiaki to be more consistent, preemptive with it. And also being able to just boost our turn meters will allow us to sneak in extra turns and get in those CC effects before they actually have a chance to attack us sometimes. So it's been pretty good. Now, Valorant here is probably just the main reason we stay alive. She is not directly a healer, but she is a sustain. So, you know, tomato in a sense. This is not the shell I want on her. You kind of want her speed to go down and be slow, so she kind of always has her ultimate up forever. But still, she's just very good at keeping people alive. Every time someone's turn comes up, they get a big ass shield, and then she equalizes all their HPs. She can't be controlled affected herself while ulting, and she does have an occasional heal, but also when someone's turn comes up, they also get a random buff. So she is good at buffing the entire team. Now, the reason I'm using Obol here over Kraken is way better when it comes to control effects, because not only does he knock back their gauges really far, and he stuns them in a way where they are like slower, right? Because they can't gain turn gauge or whatever because of the freeze stat. Then he also has single target control and a defense down. Like, Kraken is better at controlling than Obol, but Obol has a very important aspect with him, and that is that his level 3 ability does damage over time. And honestly, that 4, 8, 12% of their damage is just very important for this fight. It's hard for me to hit the damage that I need, especially in AoE. So this doing AoE damage and stun is huge. And it has a 1 turn shorter cooldown, so you're more likely to get it off when you need to. So the issue with this fight, for me, why it took so long, was not that the actual units are insanely hard. I've been able to manual this fight for a while, but it's that wave 2. Because the wave 2 comes in, if I don't have Obol or someone ready to go to start stunning them, their damage output will just destroy me. You need to get it just right, where Obol doesn't go, where you don't kill them too fast. I could kill them faster if I use like Dina, right? Where I can make it so I kill them really, really quickly, but then Obol still has a multiple turn cooldown left on his ult, and he doesn't get to use it before he gets focused down. While on the other hand, if I kill them too slow, he'll use his ult a second time on the first wave, and then he'll have a full cooldown for the time when the second wave comes around. So it's really about min-maxing speed here, and we'll look at their actual numbers. but we'll go ahead and auto it. We'll do ×2. Wouldn't you know it, the one that I tried to show you guys was, of course, the 1 out of 8 that we lost. But we got Andrew A, Andrew B as the targeting here. The goal is that these guys on the side get hit by AoE. The one we lost, the guy on the far right, never got hit by any of the control effects, which I think just caused us to slow down. And then we target the first small guy, and then we go for the bigger boys, and then we come back for this guy. It's kind of the goal here. And honestly, like, it works out pretty well as long as we hit everyone with one of our first 2 control effects to turn off their shields, you know, and ideally the very first one here, because it's like obviously makes Gray get all of his damage in. But yeah, when that actually works, you can see here we do, I mean, I don't know if this is good damage or not. To me, it seems like pretty darn good damage, but I can totally understand, like, my perception of good damage is very different than, like, people using Messiah and stuff, right? Like, every time I see Messiah hit, I'm like, holy crap, that's a unit in this game? What the hell? That attack down does matter, but Chiaki usually can dispel them. I think she has a % chance here. And that might have been a little early, or was that right on time? Was that right on time? Promise me you're right on time. It was a little early. But I think Chiaki here has the turn meter that'll give us to go up, and then we get it again. Bada bing, bada boom. They're all hit. We get the Gray attack. This is coming up gorgeous right now. This is what we wanted to see. This is way better than last time. And they all got hit. They didn't get silenced, though. Only 2 of them got silenced. So hopefully we get to kill this guy soon. Because him not being silenced means, I think he stuns people. I know he stuns people, but I don't know if he can do it while silenced. I don't remember their skills specifically. That's totally fine. We don't care about her at this point. Again, another AoE, more damage over time, more damage over time, more hits. This is the gorgeous fight. This is exactly what you want to see. Like, this guy is going to start chomping people down pretty quick here, but it's still, like, at this point, he's not fast enough to actually get us. I don't think so anyway. And once we get another control effect on him, then he will just be toast because it'll actually take a bunch of damage. Goodbye. Goodbye. That can land Slumber too. You just don't ever rely on it for doing it, right? So there we go. Perfect. That was a piece de la resistance fight. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the actual units I'm using while these guys continue to farm me the goods. Chiaki the Echo, all she cares about is speed right now, right? I'm still working on her gear. I wouldn't mind getting her, it's called like not Swift Rush, but there's another one that gives her more speed. Right now she's sitting at 241. It's not the fastest speed, honestly. I've been able to get up to, I think, closer to 260 on characters, but I am making some, basically, some of my highest speed gear is actually not on the speed set, and things like, actually that has 9 speed, that's huge. But things like this in 6 and 6, like, I could probably improve that if I have more 3-level stuff. I could probably take something like this off. Like, I don't know, maybe I could do it right now. You know, let's do it right here. What's the highest speed item I have? This one's 7 speed. This one is 7 speed. So maybe I'd have to come in something like this, but you know, yeah, I can get 5 more speed right here. So she's not the fastest, but she's fast enough for this fight, plenty fast enough. Vale here, the only thing she cares about is being slow. She actually does care about being slow, so taking off something like this is actually huge. If you can stomach, like, but I can't give up the HP on her right now. But because of the way her ultimate works, it's just like always in effect passively, as long as it's not her turn. You kind of just want her to keep going. So she's at 160 speed with 39,000 HP. That's all she cares about, is having a shit ton of HP. When she has a shit ton of HP, she gives everyone a shit ton of shield because she gives everyone, what is it, 12% of her max HP. So every time someone gets a turn, they're getting a 3,000, 600 point shield, basically. I mean, more than that, like a 4,000 bonus HP every time they get a turn. Great, you probably know how he's built here. Right now we're doing Keen Eye Onslaught. I do not know if this is the best set to run or not. I still need, I don't know if this is like, because it's not necessarily for Gray, it's for Deting, and we're just kind of, using it for another character. It gets his attack to 3,000. I honestly think I can get Deting's attack closer to 4,000. But then you give up a lot of crit damage and stuff. So this isn't like a perfect set, but this is just a good damage set. Ashu is sacrificing a little bit of the damage for, I would say, a little bit. He has less speed, But his goal is to have a little bit more effect accuracy in general, even while still keeping damage. He has 19, he has 42, so I put in a little more effort into there because you want to land that silence, right? And the damage over time. So that's the team. I guess Obol is very important here. He has an 181% effect accuracy. I think that's what bumped me up from winning. I was winning 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, rate about 50-50, and then I went up to about 7 out of 8. And I brought this up from a 160% to like a 180%. It might have been like a 140 to a 180%. So I think just landing these more consistently is huge. And Swift Rush, and I got Time Weave as well, which was huge because I finally got enough of these things to kind of throw some stuff on. And that's really all he's doing. I mean, he's at 233 speed. He's not literally the fastest, but the Jackal Guard gives him constant speed up, which was good and it was bad. It would cause him to go a little bit too fast for a point, but then I was able to bring my damage up enough where it ended up working out. But as far as, sorry, I should look at prowess here, right? This guy is not fully built. I would like to get the increased chance of stun to 30%. That's basically a 50% increase in his stun chance, like base. So that's very good, but it's a lot of stuff. Ashu is maxed out 555. I guess we could look here. And you can see Gray is not super built at all. He's actually, because I reset him at one point. But then I decided I needed him for DokiDoki again, so I started rebuilding him, but not with... He's a higher level now, but he doesn't have as much lattice in him as he did before, which I think is totally fine. Because I took so much of the early game lattice, I threw it in there. Level 5 on the health, and then level 5 on the turn meter plus. It's just that cooldown is so important. And yeah, that is the team. That is how I am beating Hell 3 DokiDoki on with only free-to-play characters. You can see here, I haven't really given Aurora much effort yet. That was a really brutal fight for me because I don't have the characters built that I think I need. But as for now, here we are farming. Anyway, guys, much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. Let me know what teams you use. And hopefully, if you need some help with some free-to-play units, you know, hopefully this helped you a little bit, tell you what units you should be using for these fights. You know what? Another, just to say, if you want to change up the team a little bit, obviously Kraken is pretty good. You could use Kraken here. Fangus, although he's red, it can be pretty good because he does a lot of damage over time and he applies a massive slowdown. Instead of Fangus, you could also use Viper. Viper does way less damage, but he does do an attack down and a speed down, and he counterattacks, so he does much less damage, but the speed down and attack down can help keep your team alive as well. Also, we've got the monk here, Mizuki. She has an AoE attack. She's a green unit with a relatively strong AoE attack that gives everyone defense up to make them a bit stronger. But those are the only units I would seriously consider. I mean, Dina, I have used, and she will help you kill the first wave faster, but the issue is on auto. It's such a long cooldown for this that she helps you clear that first wave so fast that it's like always the second wave just comes in brutally quick. So I don't actually think, I think she's really hard to use on auto on this unless you have some sort of, you know, if you have way more damage and you can afford to use the Codex of Magic where you could use her to go first, hit and then kill them all in one shot, then it resets it and the second wave comes around to do the same thing. Like that's like a speed clear strat, but I think it's really hard to set up. But yeah, that's all for this one. Much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye. Watch the views go up.